Hey everyone, what is up? You are watching Super Nintendo Collection Quest, the monthly video where I go over my recent Super Nintendo game pickups, play through them a little bit, do a quick review, see if it's a game I'd like to come back to, and you have a chance to win a free game for the system of your choice. As a kid, I loved my NES, but when I got my Super Nintendo, that was it. Great graphics, sound, and gameplay. I was hooked. Some of my fondest gaming memories are from playing some of the greatest RPG, adventure, action platformer, and multiplayer games on the SNES. It's my goal to own every North American Super Nintendo game released, so follow me on my quest to Super Nintendo completion. Alright, so I'm just relaxing today. I got my Zubaz on, I got my Fresh Prince shirt, I'm ready to play some 90s games. So first up, we've got number 645 in my collection, Ultima Ruins of Virtue 2. Ultima Ruins of Virtue 2 doesn't play like a typical Ultima game. It has some of the same characters and creature types, but it feels totally off from the rest of the franchise. When you start the game, you'll get to choose to play as one of the 4 familiar characters from the Ultima series. The familiarity really only ends at the character names because the faces look nothing like they're supposed to when comparing them to the other Ultima games. You can tell there is like basically no effort at all put into the story. It's just basically evil guy is bored one day, so he decides to kidnap all the mayors of the towns, and it's your job to go and rescue them. In the dungeons, there are a lot of warp puzzles and push puzzles that, if done incorrectly, can leave you trapped. Fortunately, you can use your Ankh to reset the entire dungeon floor when this happens. Combat is also pretty uninspired. Creature AI is practically non-existent. Creatures will move around randomly even when being attacked. It's as if they're blind or something. The game is also completely devoid of music, and the sound effects are primitive at best. Anyway, the game does feature a save battery to resume your progress, and I probably will come back to play this again. There are worse games out there. Ugh. Excuse me, I need to get a drink or something. Now how did this get in there? Number 646, Zool, Ninja of the Nth Dimension. Zool, Ninja of the Nth Dimension is an interesting platformer. It has some pretty unique music and level design. You have a life bar at the top of the screen, and you'll shoot and jump on foes to defeat them. To progress, you'll need to collect a set number of items on each stage before reaching the goal. The game provides an indication arrow showing you where the location of the goal is relative to your position, which is good because it's not always easy to find. The speed of the character is fast, much like Sonic, but in this game, the speed is more of a hindrance. With great speed, you need to have a level design to match it, and this game doesn't have that. The levels don't seem to be designed in a way that encourages you to rush through. All that being said, the game is interesting enough for me to want to come back and see more of the stages. Number 647, Ren and Stimpy Fire Dogs. Ren and Stimpy Fire Dogs is probably my least favorite Ren and Stimpy game on the Super Nintendo. I was a little bummed out because I did somewhat enjoy Time Warp. Fire Dogs reminds me of one of those old Atari games that never ends and you just try to maximize your score. Basically, you play as Ren and you need to collect all of the firefighting supplies. Fire hats, fire coats, hoses, beavers, you know, typical firefighter stuff, and return it all to the fire truck before the time runs out. You'll also need to apply Dalmatian paint so the firefighters don't attack you. Just watch out for the water so it doesn't rinse all the paint off. If you manage to collect everything in time without getting your ass beat or running out of time, you'll start the next stage where you'll catch people's belongings being thrown out of windows. If you don't let too many things break, you'll be taken back to the first stage again with a bump in difficulty. Rinse and repeat. I don't think I'm going to be playing this one again. There's just not enough variety here. Number 648, Bronchi the Bronchiosaurus. Bronchi the Bronchiosaurus is another game by Raya Systems, designed to teach children to better take care of themselves. Bronchi teaches kids with asthma good practices for their condition. It's basically a platformer where you'll be defeating enemies, collecting helpful supplies, and dodging harmful obstacles before making it to the goal. Occasionally, you will meet up with one of your animal friends. These are usually depicted as animals with hats, because you should always just trust everyone wearing a hat. I found that all of the questions, though, are either way too common sense, or I might just be super knowledgeable, being that I'm asthmatic myself. So far, this is actually one of the better playing Raya System games, and you can actually do two-player co-op or single-player game. If you're curious about other Raya System games, check out our group play of Packy and Marlin, the diabetic elephant game. I kind of feel like we should do a group play of this one too at some point. It does have two-player co-op support. Number 649, Operation Logic Bomb. Operation Logic Bomb is a top-down action sci-fi shooter. You'll be making your way through a futuristic laboratory base, fighting off robots and solving simple puzzles. Along the way, you'll acquire weapon upgrades which you can switch between at any time. And they're all equipped with unlimited ammo. You'll also find computer terminals that will help you with map data, or health refills, or sometimes surveillance footage, which kind of helps you with like the backstory of what happened. And while you're playing, of course, you will also encounter the occasional boss battle. My first thought when playing this game was that it looks like it should support two-player co-op. Unfortunately, this is just a single-player game. It's actually pretty fun though, and I'm a little surprised I hadn't seen it before. Definitely gonna come back and try to beat this game later. Finally, number 650, Captain Commando. While Captain Commando was originally released in arcades in 1991, it wasn't until 4 years later that the Super Nintendo port would be released in 1995. And while the game has been stripped down from the original to make it work on the Super Nintendo, it's still an excellent beat-em-up that can be played single-player or two-player co-op on the Super Nintendo. The other nice thing is I found this game has enough different levels to keep things interesting all the way through. You'll be going through the city, museum, ninja house, circus, seaport, aquarium, underground base, enemy spaceship, and finally Callisto, one of Jupiter's moons. The game plays well, hit detection seems fair, and the sound effects are quite satisfying. I ended up dying at the final boss, but I'm definitely going to have to try again with a second player. Alright, so that is it. I picked up 6 new games to add to my Super Nintendo collection this month. I'm currently up to 650 games for the North American Super Nintendo library, and I have like 73 more to go or so, somewhere around there. But anyway, so let's get on to the game giveaway. This month's winner for the random free game for the system of your choice is Jake Benzel. Again, you won again. Let me know which system you'd like the random free game for, and let me know your address if it's changed so I can get that out to you. If you would like to participate in next month's game giveaway, all you have to do is like the video, leave a comment below. The comment can be about anything, and subscribe if you're not subscribed already. And next month's video, I will pick a random winner. Alright guys, thank you for watching. Until next time, I'll see you later.